Okay, we're gonna good good afternoon, Archie, or good evening, I should say. We're gonna go ahead and I'm recording, and then we'll jump into our session. I gotta share. And go ahead and optimize in case I show any video. All right. Welcome to today's session, and let's start at the top. Analyze and interpret week 12, session 1. And this is our welcome. All right, today we will we'll talk a little bit about this stuff after we do the opening session and talk about our objective, which is to draft the essay and to complete a draft as well. And I even say if we have time, I would recommend that you color code your draft and you let it sit, of course. So that's why I want to put most of the time today, probably at least 45 minutes for that. And okay, any wins or any had a great weekends?
I had a dentist appointment today, and it went pretty good.
You had a what?
A dentist appointment.
Oh, I thought you said a bad disappointment. Well, that's good to hear. Um, I had a good weekend. Um, Stayed up till like 2 in the morning working on something, but got enough rest. So, all right. All right. Anyone else, Archie? By
Yeah,
the way, you don't have to share. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was able to get one of my assignments done, so that was good.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, let's jump back in. It's good to hear. Always good to hear. All right, 478. Okay, here we go. All right, here. So we're in the drafting stage today, and just to give you a heads up, next week we'll do some peer feedback. Um, I might experiment with a different kind of peer feedback form called a dialectical journal, or we'll just carry on with having breakout rooms and also having a kind of workshop atmosphere around what you've created. So, but that will be on Wednesday, and of course, if you do office hour, then you'll have a little bit more practice with that. So we're in the drafting stage today. And so what I'd like to do is, if anyone would like me to use your outline or your thinking map and create a sample paragraph or part of a paragraph for what you have. Okay, so um, there's enough time for everybody if you want to do that. So does anybody want me to do a writing demo? Okay, let me see here. I got to look at our format here. All right, anyone? I don't think I have my own thinking map for this, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall if I did anything on this. Um, we're going to look at this though. And classwork. I think I did a writing demo, but that was more of a revision, I think, and not really drafting. Oops. Where did I move that to? Okay, so since you guys are kind of quiet, do you guys want to just spend more time drafting? Is that kind of where you're at? All right. So
Yeah.
you have okay, so you both have let me ask you if you're ready for this. So we're going to move into this right now. So here, have your ideas in front of you, outline based on your chart or thinking map. Of course, you're going to write, then you're going to color code your draft if time or for homework. But so um, let me ask you what you are actually using in your draft, or what do you have in front of you? Do you have an outline? Do you have the thinking map? Do you have your chart?
I have my chart.
You have your chart. Okay. Um,
Same here.
okay. You also have your chart, and do you want to show me? Why don't you share with me your chart, and we'll just take a peek at it. All right. So Adi, you want to go ahead and share your chart?
Oh, I had already shown it on Friday, I think, and we'd fixed it.
That's right. We did the multi-flow map.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and you're
That's
also
what I
going to
meant.
be, yeah,
That's
you're
what
going to
I
be
meant.
leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you're going to be leaving here shortly anyway. Um, all right. So you're going to be fine there. Now, um, what I would, what I would do, um, yeah, yours is pretty solid. Archie, yours is probably solid too, although we worked more with these. I want you to use the map to really speak or do your writing. And so what we mean by that is you remember how before if we had a multi-flow map and we had cause and effect, we had on the left side the causes and in the middle we had the effect and then on the right side we had the impact of those. So one of the things that is kind of like the oil, like cars have oil to lubricate those pistons and the engine and keep it going. Those what will help you write more smoothly would be things like transitions. But don't be afraid. Also, the number one thing I try to do when I draft is get it done as quickly as possible. Um, and just write. And ideally, when I've done my outline or my chart or my thinking map or my cluster, I put so much. It's almost like I don't have to think when I draft. I just kind of look at where I'm headed, and then I just convert everything into sentences. So when you write now, ideally, when you do your first draft, it's there's not much thinking that has to go into it. You're going to be tempted to worry about sentences and spelling and things like that. I would urge you to get it done in like 30 minutes, if possible, or less, like maybe 20 minutes. So I'm hoping that we'll do a check-in right at the top of the hour. So, Archie, did you want me to look at yours at all, or you feel like you're ready to go?
Mr. Shaw, I'll be back in 1 minute. I just have to go ask something. Just 1 minute.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, yeah, I'm good. I
Okay.
don't. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create breakout rooms for everyone, and let me stop sharing. All right, I'm going to let you go into your breakout room. Hey, Izzy, welcome. Um, we're just going to start drafting. So, what we just did is took a poll of everyone and we asked where they were with their charts. So, do you have something in front of you that you're going to be using to write your draft?
Yes, I do actually have my I have my stuff in front of me right now, actually. So yes.
Okay. Um, we're going to ask you to try to finish your draft in 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to check in at the top um, of the hour, which is at 8 o'clock. And and then by the end, by let's say 8:20, we should definitely be done with the draft. So we want to move as quickly as possible on that. Um, but don't move so quickly that you can't think. There's a fine line, right? What you want to do is you want to trick your brain into just being creative and flowing with ideas. So if your brain tries to stop you and say, um, let me polish this sentence. Is this a complex sentence? Where's my comma going? No, none of that, right? This is just ideas. Just spill it all out there. Boom, 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 boom. Make it messy. And if you want to talk your draft out, that's a great way to go from your map to your draft. Okay. So any questions before I let you go in breakout rooms?
Or does the draft
Yeah.
have to be like a certain length? Like how
Great
long does it have to be or
question.
anything?
Yeah, great question. I had this question during our office hour on Friday, and the way that I answered the question was think of it like this. Oh, I mean, let's say you have a main idea. Now, ideally, you have three main ideas. Boom, boom, boom. You have an intro, you have a conclusion, so that makes a 5 paragraph essay. But you're asking about a particular paragraph. How long does it have to be? Because that's what determines the overall. So what I would say is you need to have a main idea sentence in a typical paragraph. Below that, you need to elaborate by, remember we did our color coding. So yellow or green was our thesis, yellow is our main idea. The examples that we gave were pink, and you want to have 1 to 2 examples, let's say 2 examples per main idea. So if you want to write this down, um, 2 details per main idea. Okay. 3 to 4 main ideas to start with. Each main idea is one paragraph. Within that paragraph, support that main idea with two um, facts, statistics, stories, whatever it is. And for each of those examples, those details, I want you to make at least one comment, 1 to 2 sentences of commentary. Like, why is this support that I gave? Why is this fact? Why is this statistic? Why is this story important? What does it mean? Right? It's you talking, right? It's what you think about that fact. And if you want to know, ideally those sentences of commentary, which are by the way blue, we highlighted those blue before, they should echo your main thesis. So your thesis should be an overall message that you're trying to get across to us, which could be, remember the one with the Niners? The 49ers have a unique history of healing their city, and therefore their fans are the most socially involved fans. I know that's kind of long, right? But you get the idea. Your thesis is something that is a message that is not necessarily agreed upon by everybody reading. That's why they're reading your whole essay, because you're going to prove that point, right? All right. So I hope that answers your question. So main idea, sentence, 2 facts. Below each fact, you have, let's say, 1 or 2 sentences of commentary. So you're looking at 3, 6, 7, looks like 7 sentences, give or take, per paragraph. So 3 times 7 is 20, right? If you want to be mathematical about it, we're talking about your main body of your paper is like 21 sentences, 20 to 21. Um, your intro might be 2 to 3 sentences. Your conclusion might be 2 to 3 sentences. So 6 plus 6, no, 3 plus 3 plus 20, like 26 sentences. And you're going to see this when you color code, because if you have time, and certainly for homework, I'm going to ask you guys to color code so that you can see your draft. And you want to do that as soon as possible after drafting. Um, all right. All right. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you're struggling a little bit because, let's say, you want to focus on 2 main ideas, that's fine. You can do a 4 paragraph essay. Ideally, we're looking for a 5 paragraph, but we're also interested in the quality of it. So whether it's 2 or 3 doesn't make a huge difference. All right. Breakout rooms. All right, I'll check in with you guys at the beginning of the hour. Automatically.
I'll have to leave at like 7:55.
Yeah, that's fine. Um, but feel free to come out of the breakout room if you have a question. You can leave your breakout room task. All right, thanks, guys, for your flexibility. I appreciate that. You may or may not be finished, but at least you know where we're headed. So color coding, remember, highlight your thesis in green, your main ideas in yellow. That includes your introductory paragraph if you've mentioned those, and you should have mentioned those main ideas somewhere in that introductory paragraph. And then once you get to your main body paragraph, your main idea sentences, should be yellow. And as you support those with facts, statistics, anecdotes, stories, could be reasoning as well. That's going to be highlighted pink. And then highlight your commentary in blue. So whatever you think about what you just wrote. And I wanted to say that the color coding, I think I'm suspecting it would actually help you with run-on sentences and with any kind of writing where you may feel that you're too wordy, you're not sure how to fix a sentence. If you color code that sentence in terms of its role, whether it's the main idea sentence or support or commentary, or you're not sure what it is, then you might be able to, within a run on sentence, if you have two different colors in one sentence, perhaps it's a good signal that you need to split that sentence down. And then once you split it into two, maybe you can put it back together again. But oftentimes the run-on sentences, oftentimes I'll read my own sentences and say to myself, what was I trying to say here? I'm not even sure what I meant. And so that's a great way to kind of, you know, address that issue. The other thing I wanted to say was I have not done a good job of reading your last month when you've turned in your inform and explain essays. I still haven't given you feedback on that, but I was thinking about this as I was actually doing some dishes while you guys were working on that. It allows me really an opportunity to think that that feedback will be ready for you by Friday because that's right. I'm going to identify for you what exactly is your growth point, what's going to help you grow your writing. Um, and then I should be able to say to you um, as you revise, hey, I want you to work on this particular thing, really focus on that as you do your revisions, and then that should be different for each of you, although there could be some similarities there. And I think that the office hour is going to be where, and we sort of have done it anyway, but it's gonna be where we really drill down on what I'm seeing, what my feedback to you is. And so if you're working on commas, for example, then during that office hour, we'll be doing some specific targeted work on that for you. Although some of you have done that anyway with the elements of style and all those worksheets that you have available to you. So, all right. So, any questions?
No, sir, not from me.
Okay, so here's our expectation for Wednesday would be I we're going to do kind of we're going to work on our drafts, but through peer feedback. And so you need to have your draft finished. I would finish it at the latest by tomorrow at this time because you want to let it sit overnight. That's the best thing um, for revision, I think, is just a fresh mind. And oftentimes you'll really make improvements based upon things that you can spot pretty quickly that you may have left out. Um, that's just the way that the brain works. It just needs rest and objectivity. So, all right, is that cool? So, have a color coded complete draft. Um, I mean, color coding ideally, right? But at least a draft. And then we'll hit the ground running on Wednesday. So, right. So, any final thoughts on how's it going for you in your draft? Anything I should know? Anything you want me to do to help you prepare for Wednesday?
I actually like I said earlier, like I was fun with my draft, so I actually finished it, and for me, it went really really good. So I actually loved it. So
Awesomeness, awesomeness. All right. Sounds good. And then yeah, on Wednesday, we'll do um, what I hope to for you to take away from Wednesday would be the way that we work together is incredible. It's wonderful. And it's kind of like a workshop because you're going to have the opportunity to give each other feedback and take that as your opportunity to even add to your essay. Um, maybe do so Wednesday at the end of the session, you might realize, hey, I need to do a little bit of research, not a lot, and I'm going to add to my draft, and that'll be part of the revision process. So, um, by no means are we completely done with the draft just because we completed a first draft. Um, so we can always add a layer there. So, all right, I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and if you do have questions before then, feel free to reach out through your parents or email, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for hard work.